Bedford Area Chamber Vibes Morning Vibes podcast coming at you with Woody Watts Creative. I am so excited about these chairs. I don't know. You know what I love doing? I'm going to swivel right now.
Wait, swivel. That's what we've been doing.
Okay,
Swiveling.
so I don't know if you can hear me, but I was going around and around. I love to swivel. It's 2022. Bring it, is what I'm going to say.
The year of the swivel.
And, you know, I thought it was going to be 2020, 2021, but I'm still swiveling. I don't know about you, Woody, but I really am.
We were supposed to stop swiveling last year.
I'm enjoying the swivel. And now it's like almost like a roller coaster ride. I just, get on my chair and I swivel.
Just buckle your seatbelt and just enjoy the ride.
Exactly. Have fun. No matter what obstacles are coming at you, just get in your chair and swivel.
That's right.
There's my advice, 2022. That is not my word of the year, though. No. I want to say.
What's the word? What's the word of this year?
So the word of the year for myself and for the Chamber of Commerce is bold.
Okay.
And we started that with our bold leadership development. And so that's Bedford Occupational Leadership Development, our program that started in February. And it's going on actually today. Oh. Today we're having it. It's second and fourth Wednesdays of the month through June. Well, it'll go through June. Our class will graduate June 8th. And, bold. Go bold or go home.
That's it.
Right?
That's it.
It used to be go big. Well, still is go big and bold.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Two words.
It's in the same universe.
It works. And so, yeah, I love it. Go bold. We're in our 25th year of leadership development. So important to invest in your employees. And we're excited about that. So our vision always at the Chamber is to be a premier driving force for business and community prosperity in Central Virginia. And so we are continuing on with that. We had our board meeting yesterday. It was exciting, really energized, because we have a lot of new board members. And so they're excited. They want to serve our community. They want to serve our businesses. They want to come out to ribbon cuttings. They want to actually be a part of our program services, be a part of our webinars. It's so wonderful. It's like a breath of fresh air. We had a great board, but when you have changeover and you've got new ideas and they're ready to really share and be innovative and help our businesses grow and thrive, it's exciting, very energizing.
It is.
So I was thrilled with our attendance and everybody, their engagement yesterday. And so we know that 2022 is going to be a fantastic year of change. And so we talked about how, we went around and we talked about board members and, everybody has their giftings, right? Their natural giftings. And then, of course, your leadership traits. And so we talked about if you're a motivator, an innovator, or a connector. And most of us have a little bit of each, in us, especially if we're leaders and we're trying to lead others, right? You need to be a motivator, you need to be innovative, and you also need to connect with others. And so these are so important. But we went around the room and we talked about which one are you really utilizing right now in what you're doing, and what do you tend to lead with? And so what would you say, Woody?
Oh gosh. I would think. All right, so yeah, I think I've got a little bit of each.
Right. So most of us do.
Yeah, like I wouldn't call, I don't know, like I think I try to pull from my I wouldn't say mentors, the people that I look up to in the business world,
Yeah.
And you pull a little bit from each one, but I try to be consistent. I think that's my goal for the year is to just be consistent in what I do and kind of level out and make sure you're providing it, the same level for everybody. But I always love innovating and being different. So I'm going to guess lean to that. So
all right, what I'm going to guess out of those three though, which one you are on a daily basis. Okay. And I might be wrong. Okay. But my guess for you is innovator.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, because you really are always on the cutting edge and you're above everybody else. You are running the race and you're doing a great job. And you are really helping Bedford to tap into the resources that you offer to really expand their territory by being on podcasts and doing these every day. So exciting times for Bedford because you're here. So thank you for all that you do.
Well, thank you very much.
But definitely innovator.
Oh, well, good. That's a compliment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's true. And so we talked about, where we're going in 2022 and the overall vision for the Bedford Area Chamber and some of the thoughts that I wanted to share this morning for the short game, right? Because you're going to have a long game and you're going to have a short game. And for the short game, we talked about expansion. So, what I did is I have 4 words that really are going to be indicative of 2022.
Okay.
And so we want to play on those. So for the short game, expand our partnerships and memberships, our benefits as well for our chamber members and our territory. We certainly serve all of Bedford, but certainly we touch on a regional aspect as well. So expansion there, and we want to excel. So I chose E words. And so excel in programs and services and our connection and our business community. We want to empower our board and our staff and our members to succeed to the next level. And so we want to continue on and be innovative, as we talked about earlier. Be the connector for our businesses so they can connect to the services that they need, because we know that our workforce is depleted right now. So we want to be there in the time of need for our businesses and make sure that they understand all that we're doing for them and all the opportunities that we have. We want to educate our workforce and our community by telling our story better and utilizing marketing, and also talking about our foundation, where we're going to be building that this year. So that's going to be important, and really utilizing that for workforce programs. So we're talking internships, we're talking leadership programs, we're talking job fairs, anything that's going to help our workforce to get back to where they need to be. And so offering those resources. Job fairs will be coming up this summer, so be on the lookout for that. And we're just excited to keep going and, keep that energy flowing.
Look at that. You're still going with the E words. Excited and energy.
And I'm on the E words today. I don't know. It was like, that just worked.
They're good words. They're great words. So.
Good words. Going with the E words today.
They're excellent words.
Excellent. Oh, let's keep that going. I love the E's. I don't know. We're in that. So, we have about 500 members and we're wanting to really grow. But not only that, we want to help our businesses. So it's not all about, okay, how many members do you have? It's about how are we serving them better in 2022. So we want to enhance our member services. So that will be on the docket. Also, you talk about when you're reanalyzing, I guess, every year, what's going well, and what do you need to improve on, these kind of things. We talked about BHAG, right? Everybody knows big, hairy, audacious goals. And that really is the long game. So as we highlighted the short game, we went into talking about the long game and long-term goals. So that would fall under BHAG. And so, that is being the hub. And so going back to, we always, when you're dealing with your long game and your BHAG, you want to think 5 to 10 years, right?
Yeah.
And so, but you also want to keep with your mission and vision. Do not go away from that. So when you are talking about strategic planning and these kind of things, you want to always hold on to and make sure you're not moving away from your mission and vision when you establish these new goals. So being the hub and the center of entrepreneurship ecosystem and having a business incubators and, making sure that we continue to build upon what we have. We've been in business since 1939. We're not going away. We're talking over 80 years of experience and being there for our businesses. So it's exciting. There will be more to come, but that's just a little tidbit of what we talked about yesterday.
Well, that's good. That's fun.
Oh my gosh, isn't it? I mean, it's so energizing, right? Let's keep those E's going. And SMART goals, right? So that'll be coming up. Everybody's heard about that: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. That's your SMART goals. So again, you want to keep all those in mind, but we have a fabulous, I cannot tell you how excited I am for our volunteers, the board that serves our community and our businesses every single day, and they are ready to hit the ground running. So that helps us all, and what a great support. So we know that our leaders of our community are going to be involved and going to make sure that we are doing all that we can do and being more, innovative and looking for the needs, right? You're always looking to solve a problem. And so you want to start there. What is the problem? What are our businesses need right now? So helping us all to learn and grow. So by being a board member, they get to learn new skills too, make connections with a new board. They're building those relationships. It also boosts mental health. That's what they say anyway. Serve with a purpose, right? We all want to do that. And so they're excited about it. So I'm looking forward to 2022, the rest of this year, and igniting growth, right? So we talked about a vision, and vision necessarily doesn't ignite growth, but a passion does. So when you have a passion for what you're doing, the passion actually is what fuels the vision.
Yeah.
And so leaders who are passionate about their vision, they inspire, and they are the ones that are going to actually ignite that in everybody else. And so I'm excited, and we're looking forward to fabulous things for our businesses.
You've got a lot
How about
going
you,
on.
Woody?
Good stuff. That's good. Well, great. No, it's always nice to start off, especially the beginning of the year can be a weird time.
Right.
One, it's tax season, and everybody,
oh my
that
goodness,
stresses out everybody.
Yes.
But you're kind of in like this limbo state, after Christmas, and people are getting their footing set. And it's always nice to start off the year with a goal and with energy.
Right, you got to have a vision. Without a vision, you've got
to hit it, and then things change. Like we always joke about swiveling, and the word a couple years ago was pivot. But that's the case with any business or organization, even pre-COVID. I know we all have our standard stuff, but the ability to be able to swivel like that is important, because come summertime, you don't know what the environment is going to be. So that's
right.
Great. You've got a lot going on. Chambers
There's
got
a lot happening.
Town's got a lot going on, so it's great. 2022 is I know it's off to an okay start.
It's off to an okay start. It was a little slow at the gate. I'm not going to lie.
A little bit, yeah.
Coming out of the gate.
I think people loved Christmas, so I think
yes, they did.
They didn't want to let go of Christmas yet. Even so, I noticed that Valentine's Day just kind of slid by.
Yes, it did. It came and went.
It
really fast.
did, and I think that's because people held on to Christmas as long as they could, and then once they let go of Christmas, they kind of wanted to jump to spring. So. That's my theory anyway.
I have to agree with you. We got to talk about what's the celebration of today too. So I hope you have that. But the word of the year, going back to that bold, we had a slow start. So it's other than we did have leadership plans, so that was great. But it's okay to have a slow start if you have a great finish.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to say.
You're warming up.
Yes.
You don't want to come out aimlessly either. That's why it is important to have somewhat of a goal so that you can kind of point your energy. Yeah, so you can point it and excel to that. And then if you need to change, be able to change. But
exactly.
Speaking of what day it is.
Yes.
It's National Banana Bread Day.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
So banana bread.
What is this? All right, how do we go from which I will gladly celebrate banana bread. Okay, that's fine.
Yes, I will too.
It's also National Dog Biscuit Day. Which I love our little dogs. So I will celebrate that as well. However, why there's National Tile Day? We just have some random days, Wendy. You go from banana bread to dog biscuit, then to tile. Bless tile. I love tile.
Tile is nice.
I don't hate it. I'm just. Do we need to celebrate it? I don't know.
I don't think I can celebrate it.
I don't know that I need to throw a party for it, but
that's a tough one right there. I'm not sure. I'm not going to celebrate that. I'm going to have to go with banana bread, but it must have chocolate chips in it. I really don't think it's good without chocolate chips.
Yeah,
and that's just my take.
That does enhance the banana bread flavor.
It really does, and
enhance.
You can.
That's another.
Enhance. That's another E word. I love it. Keep it going.
Everybody keep writing them down.
Write these words down. It's fabulous. So, we have so much going on though, and in spite of the slow start. So we are really looking forward to our health wellness and safety fair coming up on April the 7th. And so we might have to have, some banana bread there. I don't know if it'll be healthy with it. Maybe we could do carob chips. I think that would
No,
work.
listen. I'm gonna stop you right there. Listen, I appreciate the thought of eating healthy, but when it comes to certain things,
Right. You can't.
don't you cut it, and don't
You can't
start.
compromise.
Do not start substituting ingredients in banana bread. Don't do that. That's not. We don't
It's
do
not
that.
going to be the same.
Nope, it's not the same.
And,
and don't even ruin it.
chocolate is healthy. It's heart healthy.
Yep. Just put some
So
dark
that
chocolate
works.
in there or something. Like, just we're not gonna low carb banana bread. Okay.
There's not, I learned, it was funny. Somebody was talking to me the other day and I was like, oh, this so makes sense. And we were talking about our coffee and, I'd given it up for a little bit. And so I have it occasionally now. And this gal said, oh, you can put protein in your coffee.
Oh.
And I was like, you know what? I will try it because I'll try anything once. Okay. I will try it. And actually it was not bad. And so I got it again. And I thought I can do this. But I've realized it's easier to do it in the frozen coffees.
Yes.
Because it mixes up better.
Yeah.
And so you can actually get your protein in your coffee.
Yeah. So
it's a twofer.
Coffee's sacred to me.
Don't mess with your coffee.
That's a
it's a tough one. Well, you know what? Don't knock it till you try it.
If you tell me I tried it and it was not bad, that doesn't win me over. I need to know it was great, Woody. It was fantastic. Just to be okay is like, and you mess with my coffee, because that is like the trigger in the morning. That is the reason.
It's the reason you wake up every day.
I smell that. At least
coffee.
It gets me.
It is, the smell of coffee. It does wake you up.
But I can't stand like coffee flavored ice cream and stuff.
That's so weird.
I can't stand. But I love a cup of So yeah,
I don't know,
weird.
but everybody's different, and good for you. So speaking of that, though, okay, so you won't waver on your coffee, but let's talk about committing to lifelong learning, which that's going to be a great segue into our next recorded podcast coming up with our Teacher of the Year. Lifelong learning, right?
Yep.
It's fabulous. What is something new that you're doing right now?
Oh gosh, I mean, I'm really blessed because in the field that I'm in, I'm not. There's not a box that I have to work in, Right. So it really is, if you're not learning when you're doing marketing and stuff like this, then you become stagnant and you become, not that you need to follow every trend, but you have to be aware of where this stuff is going. Is it beneficial for businesses, stuff like that. So I am honestly in a constant state of learning for this business, and because you have to, like with marketing and getting people's messages out there, you have to see how people are listening, watching, looking, how they're interacting with your content. Because I mean, as you probably know, how everybody years ago, you start a Facebook page, and then like now, like you post when you posted a video, it was the biggest thing in the world, And now, like, everybody's going live from their cell phones, so everything kind of changes. You have to be aware of that. So as far as business-wise learning, it's an everyday thing for us here.
You're in a fast-paced environment where you're right. The digital world is changing constantly. It's so
hard to
fast.
keep, and it's really, and that's one of the things about podcasting that I know I kind of beat it to death, but it really is one of those fields that it makes getting messages out there for organizations in smaller communities more accessible. So like for the chamber here in Bedford, or for whoever is getting their message out, you're getting it out to a worldwide platform. And as you know, things can get lost very quickly in social media, in news. Like with right now, a news headline hits, and then all of a sudden everything you've worked so hard for on Facebook just drops. So, that's why it's important for me to look out for my clients, the people that I partner with, to make sure that their message is consistent and getting out there and not just getting lost in the world. So
Well,
it's very fast paced.
we appreciate all that you're doing because it does make a difference. And you're really, like I said earlier, you're on the cutting edge. You're very innovative, and we're thankful. But you have to be, like you said, in this world today, and everything is changing. And so
So quick.
it's so quick. So lifelong learning, great job.
Yeah.
I found that for businesses, and I'm sure a lot of businesses already know about Asana. I want to mention that Asana is a great program for organization within your company and sending out to-do lists and to organize your team's projects and tasks so everybody can be aware of what each person on the team is doing. It's very visible, and it's a great data entry system where it provides clarity and unity, and you can prioritize your work with these reports. So I highly recommend Asana if you haven't used it before within your business. It's spelled ASANA, and it really does help for everybody to know what's going on and who's working on what project. So that is something new that we are using, or since 2021 anyway. And so look for new programs that will work for you and work for your company and help your team excuse me, to have better communication, because really a team works best when you have wonderful communication.
Yeah. When everybody's kind of on the same page, you know what everybody's doing, and that, again, that goes back to setting a goal at the beginning of a year too. So and letting everybody on your team know what the goal is, where you're going, what you want to achieve, and then how you're going to get there. And it really does help. And I'm sure hopefully you can kind of recognize this too. You've been in several different levels of management in your lifetime, and with me, I've been in several different levels of departments and everything. And it really does help if everyone has a clear and concise goal,
right,
and knows what they need to get done. Because I can't be an efficient employee if I don't know what's coming up. And if every day is like just a rat race, it's hard. It's hard to get in the groove. It's hard to do good work. So if you kind of know, like, this is what we do, this is we can, of course, like we say, swivel. But ultimately, this will guide us, and any tool to do that. There's some great tools out there now, like you said, that really does increase workflow. So I need to look into that one though.
Yeah, Asana is
I will look
really,
into
really
a
good.
sauna too.
A
But I'll look
sauna
into
is good
Asana.
after work, right? For in the evening,
Both,
which is a different Asana.
Equally as important.
Definitely equally as important. And so, communication, back to that, really being able to have that communication, like you say, energize the whole team by having that better communication, giving them the vision, making sure that everybody has adopted that vision and knows the goal, right?
Yes.
And so each person on the team needs to have their certain goals to make sure that we're getting there, the action plan, so to speak. And so writing down your goals for that coming year, this is a great time to do it. And have your team write down their goals. Like, you're going to give them their assignments, right? They're going to know what the end game is, but how are they going to get there? This is the action plan. So have them write down some goals that will make sure that they get there. And, it works so nicely because when you are helping someone else to grow within themselves, you're teaching them leadership skills, and you're giving them ownership of, what they're doing. And they feel more involved and more connected with the business that they're serving too. Yeah. And so there's ownership there, and therefore there's your buy-in, and they're going to make sure that they make their goals, and incentivizing them too is very important to making sure that they're meeting their goals. So on a daily basis, but also weekly, monthly, and then of course quarterly and yearly. These are all important.
And the thing that maybe this is just me, you can correct me, but looking back, again, we talk like when you're in a position where you've got to kind of help steer a ship. And you look back at the jobs that you had where other people were steering the ships. I look back and I recognize at the time where I may have disagreed with management, but I didn't understand their reasoning. Looking back, like it does help if people communicate. What are the reasons we're doing this, so that you aren't left in the in the dark. And then so like when you do become in that position, like you said, you're investing in people, but you also let them know like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is our goal. This is it. And it just more communications, the better. Because if you think back in your life when you had that boss that just made the crazy decision, and you're like, why are we doing this? What are we doing? It would have helped. Just a little
just
sliver.
a little sliver
Hey,
of information.
Listen, we got to do this to do this to do this, and
Right.
then that would have just helped. So it's
For
like
the end game.
At the end game, it
Right.
always helps.
Everybody to be on the team, playing their best, bringing their best every single day for the cause. You got to be a believer, and you have to have a passion for what you're doing to make a difference. You absolutely do. And it really will catapult your business, your company into the next level. So get the buy-ins from the whole team.
Mm-hmm.
But the first thing to do is paint the vision and make sure that everybody has the buy-in, and then they have the action plan to make it happen. Come see us, Bedford Area Chamber of Commerce. We look forward to serving your business in 2022.